I'm back!
Mitch.
Here's the dog you brought back. Bit of a troublemaker. Not sure about the breed, though.
He'll get bigger?
Uh-huh. Like this. You know, I can look after him. He's still a pup, so he doesn't listen. I have a feeling someday he'll be useful. I suspect you've discovered a real diamond in the rough. With a little polish, I say we got a true diamond dog on our hands.
Dee, right? Hostile at raising hounds. Fine.
Come on, Dee.
It's starting to get a little crowded around here, boss.
Thank you, boss.
Thanks.
Boss, thank you for making me a time. I look forward to serving under you.
Thanks, boss.
How you doing, boss?
Too cute.
Man, I want to pet him.
Yeah, just once.
I want to touch his pup.
Yeah, just... Wait, what?
You don't want to touch her too?
No, that, never really occurred to me.
You don't know the awesomeness of a puppy's paw pet?
I guess not. But, yeah. I bet they would feel nice.
Right?
Kaz, what about the unit that attacked us in... Ocelot said the number of private forces is increasing. Ocelot, I hear they started calling you Shalashaska in Afghanistan. What's that about?
You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department.
Forced research? That's not very different from what we do here.
Development order, boss.
Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice.
And if it wasn't, they'd leave?
Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that's the concept that's taken shape in their heads. The traces of a group ideology, our superstructure, to put it in Marxist terms.
All right. Go on.
Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here. The men I broke gave up their comrades and families, everything they wanted to protect them most. No real cause for it. I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride. And suddenly I received the honor of becoming Special Interrogation Advisor to the forced labor camps. But the more men I interrogated, the more people saw me as just that, the interrogator. It helped cover my real objective of keeping you safe.
You went that far for me?
Far enough to keep you alive. I ended up being pretty well known among the Afghan guerrillas. Some of them would have seen me on the battlefield. And that's how I got the second half of the name. Shashka. It's a sword. A type of saber from the Caucasus. Russian dragoons and Cossacks carried them into battle. Now, the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's Greatest Shashka. Someone must have known about that, because somewhere along the line, Shashka got stuck on the end of Sharashka. The guerrillas were using the name amongst themselves. By the time I got to hearing about it, the pronunciation had wound up as Shalashashka.
So, half Gulag, half Hero Sword. Is a perfect fit.
But you see how rumors and ideas about people can get out of hand fast. Once you create a character and put it out there in public mind, it warps and twists with every baseless rumor. And before you know it, all people see are phantoms. In my case, it works out just fine. I'm plenty used to working under aliases.
Boss, what happened? Boss!
Welcome back, boss. Thanks for that, boss.
Boss! We need more medicinal plants, boss.
Thanks, boss. Thanks for that, boss.
Speak.
Boss, we don't have enough materials. Hey, you know why the boss is called Big Boss?
Everybody knows that. There was this unit in World War II called the Cobras, and their commander was a woman called the Boss. They say she was the mother of modern-day special forces. Anyway, so she defects to the Soviet Union. America's afraid she'll leak all kinds of military secrets, so they sign a man to kill her.
Yeah, our boss. Big Boss. And once the boss was dead, he was given the name to signify he had surpassed her.
He carried out a one-man infiltration of the Soviet Union, even though he was injured. He's one tough son of a bitch.
Yep. But I also heard the boss was his mentor, and that they were involved. And that was why he turned his back on America.
He really has been through hell.
Snake. Why are we still here? Just to suffer. Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost, the comrades I've lost, won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there. You feel it too, don't you? I'm the one who got caught up with Cypher. A group above nations, even the US. And I was the parasite below, feeding off Zero's power. After you in Cyprus, then Afghanistan. Cypher just keeps growing, swallowing everything in its path, getting bigger and bigger. Who knows how big now? Boss, I'm gonna make him give back our past. Take back everything that we've lost. And I won't rest until we do.
Approaching Mother Base.
Our new Mother Base. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll make it bigger. Better than before.
What should I do?
Boss?
Tell me. Tell me like you used to.
Things have changed, boss. We pull in money, recruits, just to combat Cypher. Rubbing our noses in bloody battlefield dirt. All for revenge. The world calls for wet work, and we answer. No greater good. No just cause.
Kaz.
Cypher sent us to hell. But we're going even deeper.
I know. I'm already a demon. Heaven's not my kind of place anyway.
Dogs of war for 9 whole years. That ends today. Now you're not sleeping, and we're not junkyard hounds. We're diamond dogs.
Let them talk.
We can crush Cypher, boss. And you can build the army that can do it.
Just one thing, Kaz. This isn't about the past. We're fighting for the future.
There's something I want to talk about. It concerns the running of Mother Base. Come meet with me. You came. Go for them, not me. This base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves. Like any organization, we need good people, and we need to make good use of their talents. Miller asked me to lay that out for you. To start bringing people in, use this. It's a Fulton recovery device. When you're in the field, use it to extract any soldiers or prisoners you want back here. And we'll see if we can't persuade them to join the ranks of Diamond Dogs. Go on. Test it out on the staff here. Anyone you want. First, put them to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you?
I'm ready, boss.
First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First. First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you?
First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you?
I'm ready.
What's the matter? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? First, put him to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? That's one way of doing it. Now extract it. Good. Extraction complete. You can only bolt and recover someone if they're not resisting. No dead bodies either. They don't make great recruits. The staff member you just extracted will be assigned to the team best suited to his abilities. See for yourself. Open your eye droid.
Boss, open your eye drawer. Boss,